Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Nick the Frog video, where today we are going to be making a admin command handler, basically. So if we click play here, so obviously as you can see, I can do /coins, then your username. It's basically just like HD admin and stuff, but using normal commands that you make. So coins, Nick the Frog, 100. And you can see I get 100 coins. There's also other commands that we are going to use, like, for example, speed. And you can speed yourself. There's also going to be a lot of commands that I'm going to leave in the description that you can paste in after you watch this, because you have to know how to make the command handler to paste in the commands. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. First, what you want to have is a Leaderstats script, which how you make one of these is obviously you want to have the Explorer open. How you open the Explorer, because a lot of people have been asking, how do you open the field or the Explorer? And how do I have the properties window down here? So how I actually do, or how I have my layout set up, just to show some people, because some people actually like my layout and wonder, like, how can they make their layout look like this instead of this, like where you have to switch from tabs. So I'd suggest first you want to go into the View tab, and then you'll probably have these off by default. They may be on, who knows. But you want to enable Explorer and Properties. If they overlap each other or Properties goes somewhere else, like say it's in the middle of the screen for no reason, what you want to do to actually put it may actually be here. I don't fully know how it will set up for you, but how you actually put it in the underbar is you go all the way under and then put it there. And then I usually like to have this all the way back. And then if you're wondering how I usually just drag this up a bit, I like to drag it to above the chat or under the chat, just like right there. Sometimes I'll zoom this out if needed, but yeah, this is basically how I do my properties layer, and I like just to have the toolbox out for symmetry, but I'm not going to be using the toolbox. So we are going to be making the command handler. So first you're going to want some sort of Leaderstats script. You don't have to have this, but one of the commands we will be showcasing does require a Leaderstats. All you want to do is just insert a script inside a server script service like that, and then you want to just type this. It's super easy. I'll leave, actually, I can't really leave something, but basically this is the code. I'll stay on the screen for a couple seconds, so if anyone doesn't have this and they want this, you can just pause the video and write this down. But once you have that, what you're going to want to do is insert a new script inside of server script service and call it CMD. Doesn't have to be capital, you can really call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it CMD. And then the first thing you want to type is you want to say local config equals blank table. The reason we are making a blank table is for our configuration settings. We're going to basically be putting our prefix and our other stuff in here. For example, we're going to do config dot prefix equals, and then you do your prefix. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to do a slash. You can do a percentage sign or $sign or whatever you want. I'm going to do a slash. And then you also want to do config.admins. This is basically going to be your admins table. You just want to equal it to a table. And this is where we're going to be storing all the user IDs for our admins. So yeah. Then you want to come down here under the local config here, or under the config.admins, however you want to say it. And then we're going to do local prefix. And then we're going to write this exact same code right here, which is prefix or config.prefix. And then we're going to say local admins table equals, and then we can say config dot admins. And then now we are going to start coding the main script. So you're going to need a lot of functions, or you're going to need four main functions and three in functions. So what you want to do is type function and then admin checker, or you can really call this whatever you want. You can call it is admin or something. I'm gonna call it admin checker. And then you want to do the brackets here, and you want to type name. Then do an enter, and an N should appear right here on line 10. And then inside of here, we want to do a for loop. So we're going to get our admins table. So we're going to say for I, comma v, in pairs admins table, or admins table do. And then we want to say if game dot players colon, and this may be a little bit tricky, but it should show up in the thing. You want to say get name from user ID async. It's going to look like this, and you're going to have brackets at the end. And then in these brackets, you just want to type admin or v, which is having a reference to this value right here. So game.players colon get player. So then once we do that, we want to say if it is equal to name. And what this name is basically just going to be the player's name that we get from our little bindable function thing. And then what we're going to do is add a then. We're going to space down or enter down here. Then we're going to say return true. So if game.players colon get name from user ID async v is equal to name, if it's exactly equal to name, then we're just going to return true. Then we're going to say else return false. And that is our function admin checker script. Then we're going to make another function called function and then char. You could call it character or anything you want. You want to do name as well. Then what you want to do is do the same for loop, for I, comma v, in pairs, but instead of saying admin table or admins table, you want to say game.workspace, or you can also say just workspace. I'm going to say workspace, and then we add a do. Then under here, we're going to say if game, or if v dot name is equal to name, and actually we want to make this lower, so we're going to say v. What we actually want to do is come up here. I kind of messed this up. We want to say string, or we want to get the string dot lower of this. You want to just add string dot lower and then have the get user ID async thing. String dot lower will just make the whole thing lowercase because we're going to be making our whole command lowercase. So you can basically type whatever you want. So now we're going to say string dot lower, and then we can say v dot name here equals to name, and then we want to do an and then we're going to say v dot or v colon find first child bracket speech marks humanoid. This will check if they have a humanoid, which means they're human. So then we're going to do a then statement. And then instead of returning true, we're literally just going to return v, which is the character. And then else return, and then we're going to say nil, which nil stands for nothing. Then we're going to copy this function just by highlighting it all, and we're going to do Control-C or do this, copy, and then you're going to paste this again. But instead of char, you're going to want to rename this to player. Then you want to keep everything the same, but where it says workspace here, change this to say game.players, get children, or get players. This one. And then that reminds me, up here on workspace, I did kind of mess this up. You want to say get children. It's the only thing you want to do. And then return v nil. Everything's the exact same. All you want to do is remove this v thing, this humanoid, because the players don't have humanoids in them. And then v else nil. So those are our main functions, the player, char, and admin checker. And then next we are going to be making the main script. So what we're going to say is game.players.player added. I can't spell. Player added connect function. And then we're going to get the player argument. Not the player function, though. You want to just spell it out. Like that. And then you want to say if player, or no, if, and then admin checker player, then, so we're going to check if they're an admin. So if it returns true, it will continue. If it returns false, it's just going to error the whole thing out, and this player won't be able to work. So then after we check that, what we're going to do is game, or no, not game. We're going to say player.chatted, connect function, and then we're going to say MSG, which stands for message. Then we're going to say local split, there we go, equals, and then we're going to say to MSG, split, or no, first we want to do local command. Forgot to do this. Local command. Okay, so next you want to say local command equals to MSG. And then before this, you want to put string dot lower, or you can spell string dot lower first, your choice. And then just put MSG in there. Then we're going to do local split equals to command split. Make sure it is all lowercase, the split word. And then you want to split it with a space, like that. Then after doing that, what you want to do is come down here, and you want to start your if statements, which are basically going to check if the command exists. So we're going to say if, and then we're going to say prefix, split, or prefix, or no, prefix, dot. We want to make this a string. Split. Bracket. Not the right. If prefix square. So get this prefix square bracket. Oh. So what you want to do next is say if prefix. So prefix, and then you want to say ... and this is where you want to put your command. Like you don't have to do your prefix on it because we're already adding the prefix with the ... So then we can say speed, because we'll do a speed command first. Equals split square bracket. You gotta do a square bracket, not this. Square bracket, and then 1. Then, and then this is where your speed command code. Like, this is where your speed command code would go, right here. And then, obviously, after this, all you would want to do is do an else if, and then just repeat this exact same thing. Prefix ... the command, for example, coins. You want to make sure these commands here are all lowercase. Even if you want to be able to spell them like this, it's still going to work with the string.lower. You have to make sure these are lowercase. And then equals split square bracket 1 again. Then, and then you can say this is where your coin command code. Coin command code. Like, this is where that code would go. And then you can just repeat this and repeat it and repeat it. And that is basically the handler. So now I'm actually going to explain how to create these commands. So what you want to do, we're going to do a speed command first. What you want to say is, as soon as we check, we want to say local player, or no, we want to create, before we actually even do this, we want to create this thing called the arguments table, which is basically just going to store the other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to say for I equals 2, comma, hashtag, and then split do, and then we can say table dot insert, and we just want to create a table right here saying local args equals blank table. And then we split hashtag, and then we want to go table dot insert args, comma, and then we can say split square bracket, and then make sure to do an I. And then that is the insert command here. So that will get us our args. So now what we want to do here is we want to say local player, or PLR, however you want to say. I'm going to do PLR because there's already a player value. So local PLR equals to game. Right, I'm going to do, actually, you probably want this different to all your other ones. So I'm going to do player to speed equals, and then you want to say args square bracket 1, and then local amount to speed equals args square bracket 2. So you can see how this is going. Then we're going to do an if statement, if player to speed and amount to speed, then, and we'll just continue the code by saying local player, or local PLR to speed. The reason we are doing PLR to speed now is we are going to be using this player function, which is going to be finding us the player that we want. Because the speed command does actually not involve a character or a player. We're going to be using the character. So I'm wrong about using the player. So we're not using player. We're going to be using the character script because speed is located in the humanoid, which is in the character. So that is what we are going to be doing. So we're going to say local PLR to speed equals to char, or whatever your function is. And then you want to say PLR to speed, or player to speed. And that will do all that stuff for you. Then we're going to say local PLR to speed. Then, so we're going to say if there's a player to speed. Then we're going to say PLR to speed, find first child, bracket, speech marks, humanoid, walk speed. Make sure you're spelling walk speed and everything exactly how I spell it. Equals, and then amount to speed. And this should set your speed value. So if we press the play button here, this should, quote unquote, should set your speed when you do the command. So if I say /speed Nick the Frog 100. No, it does not work. Okay, what did I mess up in the script? Probably messed up something. I'm going to check right now because, there's always going to be mess ups. If player, wait, speed. Okay, I know why. It is because we did the admin checker script, and we did not put us in this admins table. I forgot to put myself in here. So what you actually want to do is go to roblox.com on your browser, or you can go to the app or something, and you want to find your profile. If you're on desktop, you can just click your avatar or something, but you want to get to your profile, and you have to be on computer in the browser to do this. You want to go to the URL, and then you want to copy your user ID, which is between users and profile. I know you guys can't see me grabbing it, but that's what you want to do. And then once you have it, you want to paste it in here. For example, this is my ID. You want to make sure it's a user ID, not a username, because user IDs can't change, but you can change your username. Alright guys, so I have found our error in if admin check player. What we actually want to do is player.name. We want to invert this with the string dot lower parameter here. So we want to put player.name inside of here. I'm sorry for that error, guys. Alright, so I found another error here. So in the in the player or character checker. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a different script than what we had before, because I had to go through and kind of fix up some stuff and figure out why stuff wasn't working. But what you want to do is you want to remove your full character script, and I'm going to show you what to type. You want to type 4, or 4. Oh my god, what the fuck? 4 end to end. 4 I, v in pairs game.workspace get children do if get or if the find first child bracket speech marks humanoid, then or and string dot lower v dot name is equal name, then return v else return nil. So it is actually shortened a bit, and then you want to take this exact same script right here, copy it, and bring it or no, this script right here, you want to copy it, the one we just wrote, paste it onto here, And you want to do the same thing, just change, or you want to do game players, get players, if child. Then we can just change to string.lower v.name, then return v. And this should actually fix everything with our script. As you can see, I was doing a lot of printing to try to figure out what the error was, but I think we figured it out now. So we can press play. And also, if you guys need any help, or just this code is a little confusing for you, join my Discord server. I will be offering to help you over there, or just comment down below and I will try my best to help you. Speed, Nick the Frog, 100. Oh, it doesn't work. Wait, what? Do you have to have these split? Is the thing of having these together, vehicle and 5 first child and string.lower messing it up? We can try. If string.lower name, and then we can do this. And we can add an extra end here. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. Okay. Try that. Again, I'm super sorry this is so confusing for some people, but this should now work. Slash at speed. Nick the Frog. 100. Yep. As you can see, this works right here. I am flying at 100. So now we are going to be doing the coin command, or the coins command here. And this, you can copy this right here. It's basically this right here, but a little bit different. We'll add else if right here, because the way I will be putting a lot of commands in the description with just the little codes for them. Like just this little part here, I will not be putting the other stuff, like the whole script. But yeah, if you change this to player to give, and then player to, or amount to give, and then you want to change all these else to give, all the ones that say speed to give, and you just can change it for every single one because you want all the variables to be different if possible. They don't have to be different, but it would just makes more sense for them to all be different. Just gives them all uniqueness, I guess you could say, but it's really kind of something you probably should do. We'll neaten up your code and stuff. To PLR to give, and then change this to give. Basically, we changed everything to give. And instead of this, we're actually going to remove this. Say player dot, or player to give dot leader stats dot name dot value, or not dot name, dot coins dot value. So that's the value of the coins, and then we could say equals, and then you could write this again and say plus a certain amount of coins if you plus and then the coins value. That is another way if you want to add, but here we're just going to be giving or setting. Even it says give, we're going to be setting. I guess you could say player to set if you wanted, but I'm just going to say player to give. And then equals, and then you can say amount to give, amount to give. And you want to change this char because it's functioning in the player. You want to change that to player with the capital P. and then player to give. And that should be your entire, like, command handler pretty much done. So we're going to test out this coins command really quickly. If that's why PLR, make sure it says PLR. That is pretty important. Make sure it says PLR. Or you're going to get exactly what I got. And then slash coins, Nick the Frog, 100, and you can see we get 100 coins. Slash speed, Nick the Frog, 100, and that works too. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you guys get this channel to 200 subscribers, I will be releasing the super advanced admin command handler, because this is just a basic one. I also do have an advanced one that has like functions and uses module scripts, and it just makes the whole of your code way more simpler and just better. So if you guys want to see that, try to get me to 200 subs. That will be the 200 subscriber special. And yeah, I will see you all later. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye, everyone.